You're in early?
Yeah, well, I thought I'd best get round early and see you're not taking an overdose of Smarties are out after last night's little episode.
Other people's misfortunes are always good for a laugh, aren't they?
Oh, come on. No need to take on, Flower. Matter of fact, I'm quite proud of you.
What, for making a complete fool of myself? I ought to get a medal for it.
No, for speaking up for yourself for once.
Well, it was only because I'd had a couple of sweet sherries beforehand.
Well, it's not the first time you've had a couple of sherries. Don't usually come out with all your guns blazing.
Well, I was upset.
Of course you were. You thought Emily had pinched your fella.
But to have a slanging match in a public house... Oh, I've hardly slept a wink. I'm mortified. I mean, that's the only word for it. I'm mortified.
All right, so you're mortified. There's worse things. I mean, you could have galloping athlete's foot or little green spots on your belly. All right, I am taking it seriously. Now, the big question is, do you want him enough to put up a fight for him? I'm trying to give you advice.
Well, I don't want it, thank you very much.
All right, fair enough. Go and put kettle on.
Rita?
Yes, Mavis?
Well, I mean, what was it you'd suggest that I do?
Mend your fences. You've give valiant Victor the cold shoulder, so phone him up and change it to a warm welcome. Let him know you still want him around.
Oh, I couldn't.
Hey, think on. Faint heart now, one fair gentleman.
Fair lady.
Yeah, well, we're changing all that now. You get on that phone to him.
Now about tonight.
I'm looking forward to it, Mrs. Walker.
Splendid, Elizabeth, dear, so am I. Now, I've prepared a list of what we shall need.
More fellas.
Beg your pardon?
Well, we've only got one, haven't we, Mrs. Walker? And you can hardly call him a fella, unless you happen to be looking at him through a very thick fog.
Shut up, Lynch.
Now, ladies, and gentlemen, I am giving this little soiree tonight at great expense and effort, I might say, solely to promote friendship between my staff.
And to say thank you to us all for having worked so hard throughout the year. Never been asked so much, been done by so few for so very little.
If I might proceed?
Certainly, Mrs. Walker.
Now, as to the comestibles.
Grub.
Oh.
I have prepared an appropriate menu.
Oh, don't go to no bother on my account, Mrs. Walker. Just a few slices of smoked salmon and a drop of vintage champagne will do me.
Oh, shut up, Bet.
Oh, shut.
I've ordered some steak from Brocklehurst, if Fred would collect it.
Steak, Mrs. Walker? Oh, I thought we were having sandwiches.
Absolutely not, Elizabeth, no. After a hard night's work, you'll need something more substantial to get the party spirit. And I thought, what more warming than an old-fashioned meat and potato pie?
What indeed?
Especially when we have one of the North's foremost experts to prepare it.
Do we, Mrs. Walker? Who is it?
I'll give you 3 guesses, Cock.
Your reputation is par excellence. I couldn't hope to compete. And therefore I shan't leave it all to you, dear. Of course, that would be most unfair. Bet will be helping you to peel the potatoes, etc.
Now, why didn't I see that coming?
And then to finish, I thought I would make a great big trifle.
Who'll make it?
I shall make it because a sherry trifle happens to be my forte. So, Fred, if you would do the shopping. Elizabeth, dear, if you would start on the pastry, and Bet.
I know, as one of the North's foremost spud peelers, I'll get my sleeve rolled up.
What's going on?
Not a lot, Hilda, unless you're a dab hand at blowing up balloons.
Oh, no, Mr. Daff, we're not having balloons.
Why not we?
It is a party, isn't it? We've got to have a bit of jollification. I'm not playing postman's knock with frog face here.
Oh.
What party? When? Whose?
Oh, dear.
It's a staff party, Supernose, for full-time, highly skilled staff, not for part-time skivvies.
Fred. Mrs. Ogden, I do have to apologise to you. I don't know how, but I seem to have overlooked you.
Fearfully done.
Yes, well, I did hear it had been suggested, but nobody said to me it were indefinite.
That was my oversight.
Oh. So? Am I invited or what?
Yes, of course you are. Very short notice, though, dear. It is tonight.
Oh, that's all right, Mrs. Walker. I don't have no other social arrangements. And I've got summer to wear, thanks to Mrs. Lowther. I take it will be cocktail dress.
Whatever you feel comfortable in, Mrs. Ogden. The main idea is to enjoy yourselves.
Yeah. Enjoy ourselves? We're going to be flaming shattered before we start.
Oh, cheer up, Lynch. It'll not be that bad. I'll have to spread myself out a bit.
Oh, fancy yourself with that, haven't you, Fred?
I'll be in my element. Hey, and listen, Hilda, if you are coming, don't forget, we're all buying each other prezzies, so don't come empty-handed. I don't want to embarrass you out.
Hey, is that right?
No, of course it's not right. But he thinks it's right. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Oh, so you mean he will, but we won't, and he'll not know till it's too late. That'll teach him, great fat lump. Flipping super nose indeed.
Oh, Hilda.
Have you phoned him?
No, I haven't.
Tell her, Len.
Spitfire, Riley. I'm telling her now, she might hit me with an handbag.
Well, next time we're hiring help, I don't care if they can add 2 and 2 together or not. Just find me somebody that doesn't have problems with their love life.
I haven't got a love life, that's the problem.
It's very good, that, mate. Very good.
Anyway, could we please discuss something else? I'm sure you didn't come in here to talk about me.
Yeah, quite true, yes. I mean, it's something much more important. How long is it since I had these 2 back teeth refilled? These 2?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Morning, Emily. Cold, isn't it? Do you think I could have a word with Mavis in private?
Well, I don't think we have anything to say to each other that can't be said in public.
Oh, hasn't already been said?
Well, after last night, I felt one of us had to make a move. I'm sorry that you feel the way you evidently do, Mavis, but you're entirely mistaken. I had absolutely no intention of luring Victor away from you, as you seem to think, nor would I dream of trying to do so. I asked him in for supper after the dance as a friendly gesture, and it didn't occur to me that you'd take it any other way, particularly as you'd already left. But if I've upset you, I apologise. I don't think I can say any more than that.
No, you can't. So why don't you girls shake hands and let bygones be bygones?
Keep out of it.
I'm only trying to help.
Look, I know I behaved badly too, and I'm sorry, but at the time I think I had great provocation.
Sounds like Maggie Thatcher in the Falklands all over
Still
again.
don't think that's any excuse to say the things that I did, so I accept your apology, Emily, and I hope you'll accept mine.
Of course. These things happen in the best regulated circles.
So, all's well that ends well.
Well, hardly. It's not brought the roving writer back into life. Oh, Fred.
Hey, Mav, what's your smallest box of chocolates, love? How much is it for 3 boxes?
Mavis?
Hey, do I get any discount for bulk buying?
No, you don't. Mavis?
Will you excuse me? I've got to make a phone call.
Will you excuse her? She's got to make a phone call. Now, 3 boxes of chocks.
Cheap.
I did get the message. Who's that, lovey? I hope it's not me.
It's Miss Williams.
Miss Williams. Oh, she's a right little knockout, isn't she? Especially with all them spots.
You don't criticise. You might be destroying a great artistic talent.
No, far be it from me. I'm just suggesting that if my daughter still has ambitions to become a milk monitor, she'd do well to keep that out of the teacher's sight. Now then, come on, love, let's get this lot cleared up. I want to set the table. And not in a minute, now. Or else we'll have your Uncle Albert after us, and he's even more ferocious than your Mrs. Williams.
Oh, when's tea?
Yeah, you see? Just as soon as I get the table laid. Now, come on, Slow Coach. I want you bathing in bed before we go out.
We're going out?
Yeah, you know we are. You're taking me to see old Golden Pond. I missed it last time round. Uncle Albert's babysitting.
Aye, if you leave me a bit of supper.
Supper? You've not even had your tea yet, and already you're worrying about your supper, honestly. It's a wonder you're not as fat as Stan Ogden, you.
I don't eat much. Just like a little snack before I go to bed. All that I've had. I go to sleep otherwise. Not that I sleep very much lately as it is.
Yeah, all right, love, I'll leave you something on a tray. Honestly, just go on, this relation of yours. What's the matter?
Completely forgot about the film, though. Only there's this documentary I especially want to watch on Channel 4.
So?
Well, so we can go out another night.
It finishes tonight. It's the last night.
It'll be on somewhere else.
Ken, I want to go out tonight. I've been looking forward to it. You know, we haven't been out for ages.
Take you out on Saturday.
I take it this means you don't want to go.
Well, like I said, love, I particularly want to watch this programme.
Okay.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing, just... okay. You watch your programme, I'll go to the pictures.
On your own?
Well, it doesn't look as if I've got any choice, does it, Uncle Albert? Now, come on, darling, let's get this lot cleared up. Come on. tell him you'd meet him in pub if you don't want to go in there.
I've told you his landlady's got such a sharp manner that when she said, is there any message in that frosty voice of hers, I didn't think, and I just said, well, would you ask him to meet me in the Rovers' return?
Well, if it's worrying you that much, phone him up, tell him you'll meet him somewhere else.
I couldn't. It'll look like I'm chasing him.
Aren't you?
No, I'm not. If he turns up, he turns up. I'm not bothered either way.
Look, it's not first time people have had a slanging match in a bar. 10 to 1 by tonight, they'll all have forgotten it. And if they haven't, I'll take my frock off and I'll do a belly dance on table. That'll give them something to talk about. All right.
Right. I'm off.
Enjoy yourself.
Thanks, I will.
What do you want me to say?
Nothing. I don't want you to say anything. You just watch your programme. Good night, Uncle Albert.
Good night, love.
Don't stay up too late.
No. Watch yourself.
What time will you be back?
No idea.
Are you coming or are you going to stand freezing in that doorway all night?
Oh, I feel such a fool.
Well, come inside and feel a fool. It's warmer in here. Come on. I'll have a vodka and tonic then, and Mavis will have a very large sherry.
No, Rita.
Yes, Rita. Well, he's not in yet, but it's early doors.
Well, well, look who's here.
You were going to say, Fred?
Well, nothing, Rita. You're looking very nice.
Thank you, Fred, and so are you. Very smart. Doesn't Fred look smart, Mavis?
Yes.
You see, Mavis thinks you look smart.
Well, we're having a bit of a party after, like, you know.
Good. Well, I hope you enjoy yourself. You deserve it. Right, that's hurdle number 1 over. Now all we have to cope with is hurdle number 2. Evening, Victor.
Oh, good evening.
Len was just getting the drinks in, so why don't you and Mavis go and sit down over there and we'll bring them over to you.
Oh, that's very civil of you. I'll have a lager, please.
Yeah. Why don't you ask me to do something else, like clean his shoes or something?
If 1 or 2 people hadn't helped our romance along, we wouldn't be stood here now.
That's right. There's always got to be one interfering, busybody sticking their nose in, isn't there?
You got my message then?
Oh, yes, she's very conscientious about that sort of thing, is Mrs. Clegg.
Well, I felt I owed you an apology for the other evening.
Well, there's nothing to apologise for, Mavis.
I did rather bundle you out of the shop, though.
Well, you weren't feeling too well, that's all. I mean, I understood.
You see, I don't get these headaches very often. I mean, well, I can go for years without them, but when I do get them...
It's murder. I know. My Auntie Dolly was just the same. Still, you're obviously all right now. I mean, that's the main thing.
Yes. So I just thought it would be nice if we could have a little chat and...
And I know what it's about. You can't fool me, Mavis.
You do?
Oh, yes. And I shall be only too pleased to give you any advice I can.
Advice?
You've got an idea about another story, haven't you? And you want to test it out on an expert. Get the old creative juices flowing again, eh? Well, just feel free to ask any time, Mavis. Now, don't be shy.
Thank you, Victor. I'll remember that.
Come in.
It's only me. Oh, am I the first?
Well, naturally, Mrs. Ogden. The rest of my staff are out there working, as you must have observed as you came through.
Yes, well, I just thought I'd pop in and see if there was anything I could do to help.
No, thank you very much. Everything is perfectly under control.
Oh, you have been busy.
Well, if a thing's worth doing, it's worth doing well.
Do you know, that's just what I always say when I entertain. It's the little things, isn't it? Like that glass of sherry when your guests first arrive.
Mrs. Ogden, wouldn't you roil the wheat in the bar with the others? It will be at least half an hour, and it'll be much livelier out there, and then they could see your frock.
Oh, they seen it as I come through. No, I'm perfectly happy to sit and keep you company while we wait. After all, it's not often we get the opportunity for a nice little woman-to-woman chat, is it?
Would you like a glass of sherry, Mrs. Ogden?
Oh, Mrs. Walker, what a lovely idea.
Mike, it's me, Deirdre. Are you busy?
No. No, of course I'm not. Come up.
Oh, thought you said you weren't busy.
I'm not. I've just finished. Your timing was absolutely perfect.
Oh. Only, I've just been to the pictures and I thought...
Which one of my friends can I catch a cup of coffee off?
Well, I don't like going in snack bars on my own, not this time of night anyway.
Of course not. I did ask you to call, didn't I?
Well, I wasn't sure you meant it.
Of course I meant it. Now, what do you want? Tea, coffee, or something a bit stronger?
You got any wine opened?
Soon open it.
Oh, no, don't worry, I'll have tea.
You will have wine. I'll have a glass myself. Help me relax after a hard night's toil. Well, take your coat off. Sit down.
Oh, well, I thought they'd never go, lovey. Hey, did you see that skinny little woman that sat in the corner? Oh, I've never seen anybody make more of a rum and coke than she did. Do you know, Hilda, she ordered it at 9 and she was still supping it when Fred put the towels up.
No
thank
shop
you, dear.
tonight, rule number 1. We come here to relax and forget us woes and worries. Am I right, Mrs. Walker?
I very much hope so, dear.
You see, Mrs. Walker's not gone to all this trouble to listen to us moaning, cooking that lovely meal like what she's done.
I shall serve supper as soon as Fred arrives.
Oh, where is he?
Oh, mizzled off to his room. Probably gone to squirt on another half a gallon of aftershave.
Oh, dear.
I should keep your eye on him, especially in that frock, Hilda. Another one of Mrs. Lowther's leavings, is it?
Well, at least it's got a bit of taste.
Oh, I agree. It's very elegant, if you like that sort of thing.
Well, we all know the sort of thing you like. You'll have sequins on your flipping crowd.
Oh, what a good idea, Hilda. You know, I hadn't thought of that.
Now, come on, we'll have less of that. If we're not talking shop, we're not having any bickering, neither.
Quite right.
Right.
Not a lot left to do then, is there?
Really, Bet, there are a million things we can talk about. That is the whole point of this evening. A relaxed, friendly atmosphere in which you can all get to know each other.
I thought we did. I thought that was half the problem.
A relaxed environment makes all the difference in the world. Now, I'm sure there are lots of things we can learn about one another which we don't normally discuss.
Well, if I didn't discuss them out there, I'm certainly not discussing them in here.
No, I think Mrs. Walker's right. You all think you know people, but you don't really.
Well, come on then, Hilda. What don't we know about you?
Another sherry?
Oh, sorry, Mrs. Walker. No, I'm just saying, sometimes you can see somebody every day of your life and you never really get to know them. Like I remember once, there was me and this lad at a party.
Yeah, come on, keep it clean.
Oh, it was nothing like that. No, it was years ago. I'd known Ronnie Pickles most of my life. We used to knock around in the same gang, you know. But that night at this party, the pair of us just sat and talked. And you know, it was like he was a completely different person. And he talked to me like I was a person. Told me about, his ambitions, what he wanted out of life, that sort of thing. And I did the same. But I wasn't embarrassed or out, you know. It all come out so natural. Just to say all the things you were really thinking for once. But most of the time you never do, because you think folks will laugh or else they'll just not bother to listen.
I know. Flaming lonely, isn't it?
What happened to him, Hilda? The lad?
Ronnie? Oh, nothing. No, he got married and then I did. And we used to bump into each other from time to time. But we never talked like that again. Funny though how it's always stuck in my mind.
Hey up, here's Fred's
hello,
face.
Fred.
Hello. Play your cards right, you'll find hidden depths to him you never even realised they are. Mind you, you'll have to burrow through 5 tons of flab to find it.
Now, don't be rude, Lynch, otherwise you won't get what I brought for you.
Oh, I'm not
Mrs.
sure whether
Walker.
that's a threat or a promise.
In appreciation, Mrs. Walker, of all you've done.
What's this?
Now then, that's
Oh,
tea.
thank you.
And Hilda.
Oh, thank you, Fred.
Likewise.
We're done now, Cop.
What a charming gesture, Fred, isn't it, ladies?
Fred,
Yes, Betty.
you know when Bet just said, we've done now?
Yeah.
She wasn't joking, lovey.
I'm sorry, Cock. It seemed a bit of a giggle at the time.
What you mean? We haven't all bought each other prezzies, like. I'm the only mug that's bought a prezzie, is that it? Still, I suppose being the only gentleman in this little gathering, I may as well try to live up to the name.
Food. I'm sure everybody's starving.
yeah.
Now, Fred, will you do the honours?
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
Ah, you're not such a bad lad, Fred.
He's all right.
I've been trying to tell you that for years, you lot.
Come on.
Number 2. There you go.
Lovely, my dear.
Number 3. There we go.
Thank you.
Nice drop, this. I managed to get mine out.
Gram.
Oh, yes. Hey, it's all right, is this, Mrs. Walker? It beat nearly half its due to a frazzle, won't it?
Thank you, Fred. It's nice to know that my modest efforts haven't gone unappreciated.
What is that?
Now, yes, the toast is friendship.
Friendship.
That's what this evening is all about. Friendship and harmony.
Friendship and harmony.
Friendship and harmony.
Feeling.
Oh.
Feelings. La-da-da-da-dee-dee.
Hilda.
What?
Shut up.
To forget my...
Oh, that was a lovely evening, Victor. Thank you. Oh, I did enjoy that curry. Mind you, I'll probably be up half the night with indigestion, but it was worth it.
We shall have to do it again sometime.
Oh, yes, that would be nice. But I'd like to ask you up for a coffee, but I've got to do with the papers tomorrow, so it means I've got
Another
to get
time, eh? I've got to make an early start as well. You know, you'll probably laugh at this, but I must tell you, I had the idea that you were a bit jealous the other night about me and your pal Emily.
Why ever would I be jealous, Victor?
Well, because I went off with her, as it were.
Well, it just shows you.
What?
Like all creative people, you've got a very vivid imagination. Oh, me jealous of Emily.
Well, that's what I thought. Well, good night, Mavis.
Good night, Victor.
And have killed some friends of yours.
Is Judy not back yet?
Not yet, no.
In times
Oh,
gone
no,
by.
she's got to, because we're over hours since.
Oh, she'd probably gone some fish and chips or something. We usually do after film. Anyway, she should be back in a minute.
I hope so. Oh, and turn that sound down, will you? That keeps me awake.
An Indian or an animal, a jaguar or something like that. So you are frightened of the Indians here?
I was just worried you might have somebody with you.
I did. I stuffed them in the wardrobe, all 6 of them.
No, I just didn't want to intrude if you were...
Entertaining a lady. Haven't done much of that lately, till tonight.
Not since Maggie.
That episode's over.
Yeah, I know, I heard.
Here's to the bride and groom.
Don't be bitter, Mike.
I'm not. No, tell you the truth, I was fond of Maggie. I thought it would have worked out, but... Well, I'm not about to go into a monastery or anything.
Yeah, I know. You do get over things, don't you? In the end. Remember when me and Ray...
And look at you now. Happily married again.
Yeah. Oh, God, is that the time I've got to go?
Yeah, but hang on. I mean, you've got to finish your wine first. That's not your supermarket rubbish. That's very expensive plonk, that.
Ken will be worried sick.
Will he?
Mike, I've got to go. My last bus is at midnight.
Who's going to let you get a bus? I'll drive you home. Well, to the end of the road, anyway. OK?
OK.
So sit down, relax. Can't walk out and leave an old bachelor with his memories.
All right, but I've got to go in a minute.
Of course you have. But we've got to finish this first.
Oh, no, not for me, thanks. I've had enough.
Deirdre, darling, we're old pals, aren't we? Now, when have you ever known me take no for an answer?